We have this video going viral on X right now talking about a woman from Guatemala that paid smugglers $25,000 allegedly in order to get smuggled into the United States, only to get immediately deported. So before we get into that video, please like, share the video if you like what I do. Subscribe to the channel. I'll be posting more videos throughout the day and throughout the week. Some political, some not. But thank you guys for tuning in, and let's go right into this. So this video from CBS. CBS has been posting similar videos to I guess they're trying to garner sympathy for the illegals coming across the border when the majority of Americans agree they should not be coming in, they should be deported. And I feel bad for this woman, but at the same time I don't really, because you're paying smugglers. Like, you shouldn't be working with the cartels any shape, way, or form. I understand that a lot of these people are coming from bad areas of the world. That is not our problem. The United States is not responsible for the entire world. So we have this from CBS. 21-year-old Margarita Zacharias broke down in tears after she was deported back to Guatemala from the United States, expressing her devastation largely because of what it would mean for her and her parents, who had pulled together more than $25,000 in loans to pay her smuggler. I really need to get to the other side to give my best to my parents. They have nothing. So I don't know what she means by they have nothing. If you were able to pull together $25,000, loans or not, that's a lot more money than I have. So I don't think they have nothing. I think you're just trying to garner sympathy in order to get into the country. So the video is incredibly quiet, but I'm gonna go ahead and read the captions as it goes along. She says, "I have a lot of debt I need to get rid of," and then let me play the video. "I have a lot of debt I need to get rid of because the smuggler took a lot of money from me, nearly 200,000 quetzals. That's why I have to get rid of that debt. I really need to get to the other side. Give the best to my parents. They have nothing. They don't have a house. We only have a loan." Okay, so that's the end of the clip from CBS. But I don't really care. A lot of people don't have things in the United States, and if you came over illegally, you don't get to come over here and benefit from the United States. That's not how it works. I don't care if you want to come over here and work. We have plenty of people here that need jobs. It's literally as simple as that. And of course, all the comments down below are just making fun of this person, because it's like, oh, congratulations, you learned not to pay a smuggler $25,000. So not only did you try to break into the country illegally, you've now put your family in a worse position because you now owe a debt to the cartel. Congratulations. Congratulations. If you thought you were in danger before, you definitely are now. And it's not our responsibility at the end of the day. Like I said, it is simply not our responsibility. We are not the parent of the entire world. We are not responsible for the entire world. If you have issues in your country, then maybe you should go to the authorities in your country or pull together the community to solve that issue. It is not our problem at the end of the day. But we have this from Hot Air. CBS accidentally shows that the border crisis is about human trafficking. So this is like the only article I could find talking about this video, but it's pretty right-leaning, so there is a right-leaning bias quite a bit in this article, but overall they break it down pretty well. So CBS News is running clips of interviews with migrants who were deported in recent days. The idea, I assume, is to generate sympathy for the crying woman separated from her children. Why did she leave them behind? Or the poor woman who just wanted a better life. I, too, feel bad for them in an abstract way, but they should have known that we call it illegal immigration for a reason. They should blame Joe Biden, the ghouls at the UN and USAID who funded the illegal immigration pipeline, and the social services for illegals in the United States. But this one clip stood out to me because it didn't generate sympathy from me, but rage. CBS wants us to feel bad for this poor woman, and I do, without recognizing that her biggest problem was caused by the cartels who have been making bank off the US-funded human trafficking pipeline. And then it's the video that I just played. Most of you probably know that under the Biden regime, the cartels made more money through human trafficking than through selling drugs. So the cartels, they make quite a bit of money off of human trafficking. Drugs just don't sell like they used to anymore. Especially when, a lot of states have legalized marijuana now. It's a lot harder for them to make any money off of that. Fentanyl isn't exactly a popular drug. While it does kill thousands of people a year. I mean, it's killing a lot of its user base. So it's not like weed. It's not like people just keep coming back for it. Um, they charge outrageous amounts. In this case, they say 26,000, but the reporting is 25,000 in U.S. currency. She said 200,000 in Guatemalan currency, but that equals about 25,000 in U.S. currency. So they charge roughly 25,000 to 26,000, I guess, to smuggle people into the United States, essentially holding the families hostage until they get paid off over time and fuel the sex trade and child labor market in the United States. Many of those 300,000 plus missing children have disappeared into the black market. So what they mean by that is, yeah, you get this debt for the cartels, and you basically get a loan to pay them off or whatever, or you owe them a debt. And how do you pay off this debt? Well, you pay them off by paying them, of course, but how are you supposed to find a job in the United States when you get here? Well, guess what happens? They go work for these cartels, and it's basically slave labor. You're a slave until you pay off the debt to the cartel. And even then, who's to say they'll actually let it get paid off? Maybe you'll just be an indentured servant. So no, this is not something we should be condoning. This is not something we should feel bad for exactly, because this woman brought it upon herself. All these people bring it upon themselves. And what we need to do as a country is shut the border down and go after the cartels, because the cartels are causing this problem. The Biden regime that was encouraging the illegal immigration did this. All the NGOs and stuff like that, all these organizations out here that are profiting from this, these are the ones that are causing this. It is not the people of the United States' problem. The only thing we can do is deal with the cartels and secure our borders, and hopefully this stuff stops. And then we have this video. Let me pull it up on X. So let me read the caption here. This is from Larry Alex Taunton. The rot is deeper than you know. USAID, as I reported in the video taken at an immigration office in Cartagena, Colombia last year, was facilitating flights of illegals into the U.S. So this video is from a year ago. It was posted today, but it is from a year ago.
I'm at one of the aid stations in Colombia. So these migrants who are coming from all over the world, because the Biden administration has essentially sent out the message to the entire world, the U.S. border is open. So people are coming, and they're coming from Africa and the Middle East and from Asia, and of course from all over this continent, the South American continent. But you see, these countries that they're passing through don't want them. The migrant crisis is so enormous that they can't stop it. So what do? They set up aid stations in order to help these people move along. Don't stay here. Don't stay in our country. We know you're headed to the United States. Here's a little medicine. Here's a little bit of money. Here's a little bit of food. Now move on. But where's the money coming from for this kind of operation? I mean, these are enormous operations. Yes? Well, take a look here. You got a sign right here, if you can see it, that tells you that the aid is coming from the USA, and that's exactly what's happening here. So you essentially have the Biden administration that is aiding and abetting in human trafficking. That's exactly what we're seeing happening here.
Yeah, the cartels absolutely are trafficking humans. I brought this up in the past couple videos talking about immigration. If you haven't seen the movie Sound of Freedom, I implore you, please go watch that movie. It's one of the few movies that have ever genuinely made me cry. It's an incredibly sad movie, and it highlights the absolutely disgusting sex trade that we have here in the United States. The United States is one of the largest contributors to the sex trafficking market, human trafficking market. We are one of the biggest purchasers of human trafficking in the United States. Now, I know that's not everyone, but I'm talking about the elites here, the people that can afford it, or just not even the people who afford it, but the people that are looking for that. We are one of the biggest countries in the world that take part in that. It's absolutely disgusting. And the people that facilitate that are the cartels, because the cartels don't care. They're just trying to make their money. And there's a lot of money in that market, that black market. Our elite want us to tolerate this because poor Guatemalan migrants are upset that they have been sent back home, but the real outrage is that our elite has facilitated this trade and profited off of it, all funded by funds that flow from the government to NGOs. So the USAID is currently being audited by Elon Musk. I will likely make a video about that at some point because there's a lot of information coming out about that. Basically, they've been funding all kinds of things, anything from terrorist to programs like this. And it's supposed to be about nation building and helping people in other countries. But what it is just a blank check for anyone who wants it. And then we also have this absolutely disgusting video from CBS. CBS should have turned this individual in the moment they were done with this video. But no, they hide this man's identity and allow him
We
to keep
drove
doing what he's
overnight
doing.
to a city.
Let me read this caption before I go in. So some migrant crossing into the United States illegally aren't doing it alone. Americans are helping them. And one smuggler anonymously tells CBS News he has moved nearly 500 people, making up to $2,000 per person. He calls it a lifeline for families fleeing violence, but some critics say it's simply criminal. So
Safe house near the southern border in New Mexico to meet a woman who just hours ago arrived on U.S. soil illegally. Why are you here?
Buscando una vida mejor.
You want a better life. This woman says she was desperate to escape the violence in Zacatecas, Mexico. She paid smugglers over $15,000 to get here. By morning, she'll be dropped off at her final destination elsewhere in the U.S. We learned her journey was facilitated by a network of Americans.
So I'm going to pause there. CBS should have turned this woman over to ICE. I don't care if she's fleeing violence or not. We have avenues in this country for legal migration if you are experiencing terroristic threats or violence. She should have gone through that process. She should certainly not have paid $15,000 to smugglers to get into this country illegally. The one thing I think about is if they're willing to break laws to get into the country, what do you think they're willing to do once they're actually in the country? Do you think they're just going to all of a sudden follow all of our laws? Do they even know all of our laws? And if she spent $15,000 to get into the country, is she going to have any money when she gets here? Or is she just going to go into some California store and steal? Because we know how easy it is to do that here. And it's absolutely disgusting. CBS, there should be like a fine or something for them, just based off this video. Like Tom, what's it called? The border czar, Tom Homan, I think. He should go after CBS. He should fine them for this. This is absolutely disgusting, and they should give up this individual here in this video, and you'll see why.
Smuggling people from across the nearly 2,000-mile-long stretch of the southern border, deep into the country.
Americans are doing this. We're the ones who are taking them across.
We got an inside look at the operation with the man who smuggled her. He agreed to speak with us only if we masked his identity. How many people have you moved?
I would say close to 500.
If he was doing something right and just and moral, he wouldn't have to hide himself. If he was doing something illegal, he would not have to hide himself. CBS is literally trying to garner sympathy for someone committing crimes actively. He's actively taking part in human smuggling, human trafficking, one of the worst things you could do. And CBS is just like, whoa, you 500? Whoa, that's awesome, dude. That's the reaction here.
This man, who we're calling Joe, was born and raised right here in the Southwest. First, he gets sent a location by a smuggling organization.
I get GPS sent to me, come out here, and we get in my vehicle, and then we head on out. Start the truck, go straight, turn right.
After
CBS should dox this person. CBS should absolutely turn his information to authorities.
migrants cross into the U.S. illegally with the help of the cartels, Joe meets them.
We're going to a motel that was used as, a place to help illegal immigrants stay and live there for a few days before they would catch rides to go up north.
There's a guy that's kind of looking around. So these hotels and motels across the region are used to stash migrants.
Oh, yeah. Definitely, all the time.
These are the types of places you use.
I've used before.
Most Americans who watch this are going to say that you were part of the problem. You are getting enriched off the backs of people. You are part of this cartel-run operation. People are pissed about this.
They are. Is it wrong? Yeah, a lot of people think it's wrong. I try to say, I'm doing something right to help a family out, trying to get away from that poverty, that violence, that danger in Mexico.
that poverty, that violence, that danger in Mexico. 15,000 US dollars. That's a lot of money. And that's a lot of money in Mexican currency. They can move somewhere else in Mexico that's safer. They do not need to pay a smuggler to get human trafficked into the United States. And this guy is, of course, going to justify it because, as you'll see here in just a moment, he is making bank off of this. And CBS, seriously, CBS needs to turn this guy in. This is disgusting. He doesn't even justify it properly. He's just like, yeah, I'm just trying to help a family out. Yeah, there's families here in the United States that need more help than these illegals coming across the border. I could not care less about a single illegal crossing the border right now. We have so many people here in the United States that need our help. What about all the people in LA that just lost their homes? Yeah, sure, there are a lot of wealthy individuals, but now they're being barred from even like stepping foot on their property, and a lot of them are being forced to sell so that they can build the low-income housing. Like, we have so many disgusting things happening in this country. We do not need to worry about illegals. We need to get them out, and they can go handle their own crap in their own country. I say this in every single video talking about immigration. There's not a single reason that other countries like Mexico can be just as great and just as free as the United States of America. Why is it that they have to come here to profit off of our success when they can do exactly what America's done in their own country by getting their own people together and coming together and making their own country better? No, they don't want to do that. They don't want to put in the hard work. They just want to come in and get all the free stuff and profit off of our amazing country.
To get to their family here in the United States.
Joe told us he lost his job during the pandemic. This is about money. He says he makes about $2,000 for every person he helps into the U.S.
Look at that.
And sometimes moves 6 people a week.
These are wire transfers from the illegal migrants you've moved. $1,500, $1,500, $2,500. Wow, this is a lot of money.
Yeah.
As the U.S. steps up enforcement, the cost per migrant jumps up.
Yeah, they're getting ready to spike up right away. It's going to get a lot worse than what anyone else has ever seen.
Yeah, and I don't know what the point of including that at the end there. That guy doesn't care. That guy doesn't care that prices are going up. All he's thinking is dollar signs. So CBS seriously needs to be fined for this video, and they need to be forced to give up the information on this guy. He should not be. They're harboring him, essentially. They're harboring a criminal. The NGOs are basically in bed with the cartels. Both are making bank to the tunes of tens of billions of dollars, using and abusing these poor migrants. Does CBS think we won't notice the connection? And then it's just showing more clips of the USAID giving money to all these programs. And the migrant crisis, among other things, the United States funded human trafficking operations that has been pouring billions of dollars into the drug cartels, exploiting people from around the world, importing criminals who are now doing crime and tourism, all for the fun and profit of people who claim to be doing good. And then we have this tweet here. Let's see. Breaking: American communities have experienced an outbreak of burglary tourism in which Chilean organized crime rings have been able to exploit VWP loopholes by entering the U.S. without a visa or other proper criminal background checks. That's the other issue. Sure, maybe some of them are completely law-abiding and the only crime they're going to commit is paying a smuggler and breaking into the country, right? Yeah, but what about all the people from all these other countries that get set out, let loose out of prison, or literally are suspected of? There's been so many cases of murderers that are suspected of murdering tons of people in their home country, and they come to the United States because they know the United States isn't going to deport them, and then they can go around and do the same thing that they were doing, whether it's burglarizing or killing people, or worse, some might say worse things I can't say on YouTube. But no, it's absolutely disgusting. We should not be allowing any of this crap. And I will say it yet again, CBS needs to be forced to give up this individual. Someone needs to find out who this guy is, and he needs to face whatever charges we can throw at him. It's absolutely disgusting that CBS would put this guy up on a pedestal like this. And I mean, literally the whole video, they don't even criticize him. They give him one hardball question, and then he just kind of passes it off like, oh, I'm helping families. Dude, I don't care if you're helping families. I don't care what your intentions are. The only intention it seems like you have is how much money you can fill in your pockets. Oh, you lost your job after the pandemic? Okay, so did a lot of people. That doesn't mean you turn to a life of crime where you're helping cartels traffic people into the country. Absolutely disgusting. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. What should we be doing about people that do stuff like this? What should we do about CBS, who made this video and isn't giving away the identity of this individual? Let me know what you think down in the comments below. As far as my opinion, I gave it throughout the video, but deport all the illegals, close down the border, fight the cartels, and arrest people that help the cartels, American citizen or not. Thank you guys for tuning in. Subscribe to the channel for more, and like and share the video. Thank you. Peace out.